Street serial killer. The detectives believe he may have been involved in nearly 24 murders and attempted murders. It took an LAPD FBI task force a year and a half to track him down. And Chris Blanchard reports he left a decade of death and destruction in his wake. In this story, you'll see only on Fox.
Natalie Preciado, here on a dark Santa Monica street, fears the truth. Don't tell me that! That her 19-year-old son, Jonathan, is dead, murdered, badly beaten and shot 17 times.
I didn't want to believe it. Even sometimes I still don't want to believe it. It's like, it's a nightmare.
7 years later, the memories of that night are still burning in her brain and ripping at her heart.
That broke my world. Because he didn't just destroy, he didn't just kill Jonathan, he killed my whole family. He was our hope. I mean, he was the hope of the family. He changed everybody.
Natalie herself grew up with roots embedded in the gang world. She explains there's family doing time at maximum security here in Pelican Bay. Mexican mafia figure George Buckethead Bustamante is related through marriage. And her son Jonathan was a 17th Street gang member known as Boo Boo. He'd been sent to county juvenile camps 3 times. That's when she decided to give him a short course on the future of gang members.
And I showed him a couple that are homeless now because they're dope fiends. And I said, this is what gang members end up to be. Either they end up dead, in prison, or on the street, homeless, and strung out.
So, at 17 and on probation for assault, Jonathan entered Boys Republic, a residential treatment program for at-risk youth. Counselors say he turned some corners, overcame a learning disability, became active in student government, and graduated from the program on a positive track. He finished high school, completed a culinary arts course at Mission College, and wrote an essay that won him a $5,000 college scholarship. His mom was filled with hope.
He was going to be something, and he wanted to change.
She says her son had plans to graduate from college and work with troubled youth. But in 2005, an older homeboy asked him to drop by a birthday party at this Santa Monica Moose Lodge. Witnesses say Jonathan was swarmed by a pack of rival 18th Street gangsters who then gunned him down along with his friend Hector Bonilla, who was shot 8 times. Witnesses say it was William Vasquez, an 18th Streeter known as Willie or Crook, who walked up and finished them off, putting 2 bullets each in the back of their heads. Sergeant Rich Lewis worked the case.
He's a cold-blooded killer.
With 18 emblazoned on his chest, devil horns shaped out of numbers 1 and 8 tattooed on his forehead, and 666 inked on his shoulder and on his scalp. Natalie Preciado says Crook belongs in hell.
And I wish this state would use capital punishment for people that are not remorseful for their crime.
Yet with his hair grown out, looking like a college boy in court, jurors convicted him but failed to recommend the death penalty.
We changed the identity. You look like Pee Wee Herman now.
And on the day of his sentencing in March,
Look at me like a man. Man up to it.
an angry mother had a lingering question for him.
I want to know, why did you kill my son?
Vasquez didn't man up.
Why? You didn't even know him.
That from a gangster with tattoos of rival gang names crossed out next to the word killer, and letters BK for blood killer printed on his arms.
You're not a person, you're a monster. You're a devil.
Vasquez, smiling here, had also been convicted of murdering 3 other unarmed rivals for offending 18th Street sensibilities. In 2002, he shot Alex Haro at a birthday party in Jefferson Park. In 2003, Kevin Walton cut down on a South Central street. And in 2005, Jesse Becerra shot 20 times at a party in the Wilshire area. Vasquez, who showed not a sign of remorse at his sentencing, was earlier described by a prosecutor as a hunter of human beings. Judge Larry Fidler had seen enough.
You're not innocent, Mr. Vasquez. You're guilty. and you're guilty time and time again.
This sentencing report obtained by Fox 11 News calls him a serial killer with no compassion for others, and still a suspect in at least 4 other murders.
You all think you're tough, and you're nothing but cowards. You're cowards with guns, cowards with numbers, and you're gutless wonders. You're pathetic. The sooner we wipe the gangs out, the better for society, because you're worth nothing.
31-year-old Willie Vasquez wasn't smiling
Life without the possibility of parole?
when the judge sentenced him to a life behind bars.
I lost my son. He loses his life in prison. His mother's gonna cry and grieve because she doesn't have her son. And I'm crying because I lost my son. So here, nobody won. We all lost.
But the judge noted this serial killer caused unbelievable, immeasurable pain to the families of his victims. People such as Natalie Preciado, who can now only visit her son at the cemetery, see his face looking back from a gravestone. She says she prays that Vasquez's life in prison is full of pain and suffering, just like hers is every day. In Culver City, Chris Blatchford, Fox 11 News.